time we go up, and then we hit a river, and then we keep climbing again.
As we entered this little Peruvian village, we were caught off guard and got trapped in the festivities. We did not always understand the reasons behind the festivals, but most of it was linked to a virgin. This one, the whole town was out and about, people having beers, a little markets being set up, and it was quite difficult to navigate slowly through the crowds, as a lot of beer was being consumed in the middle of the week. But it was a great experience for us. Sugarcane was a strong symbol of this festival, and there was a lot of dancing by different groups. Just as we thought we'd made it through, after a few hundred meters we ran into another little party with a great band playing, and there we were trapped for a good half an hour, being patient and trying to be respectful, but nobody noticing us for quite a while before they allowed us through and we could hit the road again, pushing on further into the mountains.
Narrow gravel, and then surprise, suddenly on the next switchback we have a bouncy and what feels for us now like a dual carriage tar, and it's smooth sailing. You're enjoying the switchbacks of
Yes.
the bouncy?
Yes.
It's just so strange that it's...
Well, they could have just maybe tarred this little section
Yeah.
as well. I don't know what.
And it's getting...
Diverdaad.
Yeah, diverdaad. Yeah. It gets so narrow. So quickly.
And driven out.
Yes.
Maybe there was a mudslide.
Yeah.
And maybe it was tarred. Because this must have been a mudslide.
Yeah, there it goes, and it just stops.
But yeah, it really does stop here. It's a bit like, I don't know, maybe.
Just watch out.
Whoops! Morning. It's 7:15. So we're doing our third leg, huh? Third leg of driving towards Canon del Plato. We came from there yesterday. The switchbacks, and we're going up there tomorrow. Oh, now.
Today.
Now. We just need to start the car, turn it around. We had a lovely sleep at 2,000 meters above sea level. It was actually quite hot. There were even mosquitoes. Okay, let's see what
What about our friend?
Oh, that's Rusty. Rusty, bye.
We have to say goodbye to Rusty.
Bye, Rusty.
Okay, let's go. We've made it to the top of another...
Is it the top?
Well, we think it's on the top.
So, I think we're going over.
But one thing we can say, it is very, very high. It's a fascinating trip. You have to have nerves of steel to be a bus driver or public transport driver in Peru, especially in these roads. And as we always say is, don't look down.
As we were driving through the mountains, we kept being surprised by little towns with perfectly manicured plazas or town squares with the most amazing gardens. The ingenuity of people and how they move things across the rivers was also something that kept surprising us as we saw the most amazing contraptions.
These narrow roads, you sometimes run into traffic and it's very, very narrow and difficult to pass. Especially if they are so fully loaded. And that means you're eating dust for quite a while.
Yeah.
At least we can see the mountains painted on the back of his door. The Cordillera Blanco, clear on a clear day. And for the last stretch of the road today, we are again on the very narrow road. We're driving like a champ. I've stopped looking down because it's so high and so narrow. We started at 2,000 meters, we went up to 3,200, I think. We've dropped down again to 2,000 and we are climbing up for the last leg of the day, up to 3,200 meters where we will probably sleep tonight. But the last stretch has all been gravel and very, very narrow gravel. We are snaking up and up and up.
Praying that nobody comes from the
Yeah, so far we haven't had any vehicles from the front. But yeah, we're going to follow the road up there. And then we're going to go over. We've heard rumors that eventually there's going to be a tar or asphalt road.
How many mountains have we crossed?
Oof. I don't know.
2 or 3?
Yeah, at least 3. I think this is the 3rd or this is the 4th one. Yeah, and the road surface changes from very good tar to very good gravel to very wide gravel to very narrow gravel.
Nothing on the side.
Yeah. Luckily, we're in the dry season. I would not want to drive here in the wet. Unless you have an extremely capable four-wheel drive and not too big, not too long and not too wide. But yeah, we're nearly there.
Only 17 kilometers to go.
And after a very long day on the road, we arrived at this most amazing wild camp. One of the best wild camps, but one of thousands that we experienced while traveling through Peru. It's one of the things we really loved about traveling through Peru, because there is all these opportunities for wild camps with great views where you are on your own, experiencing nature with nobody bothering you.
After a long day of very interesting driving, we arrived at our home for the night. So let's have a look where the wind is. At the car park and
Have a gin and tonic. It's been a long day. The mountains has been wide and the roads narrow. And like the guy said, you might not make it. You think you might not make it. This is it. But this is it for the night.
yes.
And we were rewarded by the perfect sunset over Mount Artes en Rayo that inspired the Paramount Pictures logo. We also experienced our first very dodgy, narrow and notorious tunnels. These are tunnels cut out through the rocks to make the road slightly better, but they are very dodgy, normally not lit, and in the wet weather they can be very wet inside. The road also became extremely narrow at this point, and again we just had to say to ourselves, don't look down.
Ons gaan miskien nie die kar moet doen.
Yeah.
So for the first time in how many thousand kilometers? 30 plus.
30,000.
We've got a puncture.
Yeah.
This little mister. Luckily my wife, while checking the brakes, heard it and
Luckily our brakes got very hot and I checked it.
yes, and now we are in a little town called Chias or something like that. Getting the tire fixed quickly and gonna grab some lunch.
Yeah.
Somewhere up the main drag.
Fancy.
Yeah. Because we are hungry and it's hot. Morning. And it is day 6 on our mission through the Cordillera Blanco. A nice early start today, motivated by some little mosquito things that bit us. Yes, that bit us just as we got out of the car, so we packed up very quickly and we keep pushing. We are on the eastern side of the mountain range now and still heading south. Hopefully we'll get to Canyon del Pato today and then we will head back through to the western side. The landscape has turned drier and drier. There's very little water in the rivers. But we had another very nice campsite, wild camp next to the road today. And we are in for a great drive. Let's see how today goes.
The higher we climbed into the mountains, we found more goats and sheep getting farmed.
Seeing a very big hole in the mountain. Not sure if it's a landslide or mining. But currently they are definitely mining the material coming out of the... Yeah. Yeah, they drain the soil.
Red, pink
Yeah, red, pink and brown.
creating erosion.
Yeah, we're not sure if the erosion created the mine or the mine created the erosion. And we're getting deeper into the canyon, and for the first time we are very close to the glacier high up in the mountain. This just blew my mind. I did not expect us to come so close to the glacier close to the mountain peaks. We were driving and we got to a Google Maps point and Corinne was disappointed with the point, and then we drove about 500 meters on it.
Around the corner.
Yeah, and we got this spectacular view in the distance, and now we are getting even closer. It's getting chilly. I'll need to put my warmer gear on, but it is just spectacular.
As we pushed in further into the mountains, we found that the people became a lot more indigenous and much less used to tourists, getting some weird looks as we pushed on further closer to the glacier.
So we have arrived at the greatest view of the glaciers that we've had so far. Unfortunately, we can also see how it's melting at an extreme pace. It looks like the tears of global warming. We will show you some great shots that we've taken with the camera and that I've done with the drone. It's a really beautiful area and it's well worth the drive, even if it took us 6 days. I suspect there's a shorter route if you take the boring route, but we decided the interesting route is much more interesting. Guys know how to handle water without any pumps. Here they're splitting the stream quite high up and channeling the water into a separate little channel to feed. And we've seen them in other areas, the water running, but we haven't seen actually how they do it. But channels then go all the way down. We've just been involved in a Peruvian standoff, with us going down and another van like ours for the taxi coming up, and neither of us wanted to reverse because he should have stopped long before. First time I see Corinne lose her temper.
I didn't lose my temper. I just told him the truth.
She just told him the truth. Yeah. But then we saw a little baby sheep, a little lamb, and it lightened the mood slightly. So now we're heading off to our wildcat. My wife has been driving like a champion for 6 days. For 6 days over challenging roads. So we decided to get her the best hotel room in town. In the town of Piscobamba.
Yes, and the Pisco showers are better than the hotels.
Yeah. So this is our 40 soles hotel. Maybe there's water in the showers. They're working in the town. There's major renovations going on. So we're not sure. There's water in the tap. Yeah. We're gonna be snug as a bug in a room, in a bed. Hopefully with no bed bugs. We had a brilliant guy fixing our wheel. We heard a squeak on the wheel and we stopped in the middle of the main road of Piscobamba where a mechanic was lying on the car. And he found the problem quickly and resolved it quickly.
Yo tengo agua.
There's water.
There is coming. Oh, Jesus.
Maybe not. We opened the tap about 2 minutes ago, and maybe it just takes patience to to get water. Yeah, just leave it open, sweetie.
Yeah.
So you're happy with your hotel room for the night?
Yes.
Show them what you're gonna drink. We've been carrying this stuff with us since Colombia, I think.
I'm first just gonna have a shot. Otherwise, I'm gonna
have aguardiente and Fanta. I think just Fanta will be much better.
Yeah.
Good night. Hope you've had a great day with us. We've had a great day.
And in our next episode, we cross the Cordillera Blanco into a winter wonderland, and it's the first time we drive in snow while experiencing this great white landscape. After that, Karine gets the opportunity to take some hikes as we visit the most amazing Laguna Paron, high up in the Andes Mountains on the west side of the Cordillera Blanco. But that's a story for another time, so please remember to like, subscribe and hit that bell icon so you won't miss out on future adventures. Thank you for our Patreons for making these videos possible.